Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the must-see podcast of all time, Tables, Ladders, and Bumps. I'm one third of your co-host, Ringside P. I got Wade, I got Marvin, and we are going to kick off today's episode. We're doing a review, pretty much a little small recap of what things that stood out to us from SmackDown or Raw or AEW. We had three count, which is three burning topics that are just drilling a hole in our soul that we just gotta get out to you guys. We got some tenfold theory. It's gonna be a wild theory that could possibly come through, possibly not. It probably just off the wall. That's why it's tenfold. And we're gonna do a no hate, just debate. We're gonna pick a topic and two of us gonna debate it out and allow you guys to pick the winner of that. So, how you guys? Well, before we get started into the show, make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, comment, feedback, check out all our content. Marlon's been killing the reels and the shorts lately. I've been loving them, especially when Roman Reigns came back. Those have been great, Marlon. So shout out to you, OTC. But man, you guys ready to get this off? How you guys' week going so far?
We're good.
Good.
We're good. Like 6 tsunami splash is good.
I mean, that's the best way to start the week off then.
6 tsunamis good, or are you at Seth taking 6 tsunamis bad?
Oh yeah. Which end of it are you on?
Are you giving the tsunamis or are you taking the tsunamis?
Oh man.
Who wants to kick off the recap?
I'll talk about my Raw recap real quick.
Okay.
My Raw review. Damage control. I'm here for it. I mean, I liked Damage Control in the past when it was 4 or 5 of them. That was cool, super dominant. But I feel like since Damage Control has turned face again and there are fewer members, unfortunately, I feel like I could pay attention to the wrestling and not have to worry about outside interference. And I think that since there's just 2 of them right now, that it's just focused on them acting as a tag team now, which is great. And for some reason, I pay more attention to the spots and to their dynamic as a team versus like, oh, Dakota's outside the ring, or Asuka's going to interfere, or Bailey's going to do this. And like, I didn't really pay attention to the wrestling, to the in-ring action, but more of the drama and shenanigans. So I loved the match with Pure Fusion. Collective. And also with the, and also with the tag champions. I loved that match. I thought there were great spots. My favorite part was when Io did the flying crossbody through the middle and top rope without touching any of that. I loved that. I feel that Kairi Sane, I heard myself saying like, and I was like, ah. I feel like Kairi Sane, I don't know if that was a botch where she was like trying to get over the rope, or she hit the rope and then did the flip.
This is a botch, but I don't even think it was her fault. But yeah, I think her foot got caught when she was getting pushed over, and she's so good she found a way to still land on top of the people.
Yeah, it looked amazing. Botch or no botch, it looked amazing though.
Yeah, even Michael Cole played it off very well. So I love stuff like that, and I just feel like they're more dominant now as baby faces, or we can root for them so much more than the latter part of them being heels and when Damage Control is kind of falling apart. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
No, I kick it off. Like, I really enjoyed that triple threat tag team match with all of them. Like, I'm here for that. Like, I hope they can run that back. They might not do it, but definitely I don't mind the extra members in the group. I am disappointed that Dakota Kai is injured again, out the things like 8 to 10 weeks or something like that. So that sucks for that, because if you want to build up a dominant faction, it's hard for them just to be 2 when you got TFC out there with 3. You got I know you got tag team champions, but they also kind of rolling with Blade Davenport too.
Yeah. Blair Witch Project.
That could be. I like that. They should do that, but they probably won't. But I wish they give them back the Unholy Union. I wish they call them that again. But I would like to be them to have another member. Maybe someone come back. Maybe I know you guys talked about Julia. Maybe sometime in the future or whatever. but I am enjoying what they're able to do. Like, I think Michael Cole, someone had mentioned that they used to be an actual tag team, Kairi Sane and Io Sky before in the past. And so I think you can even see that working in that dynamic and the communication and the tandem moves in the ring. So I really enjoyed it. I want the best for them. Like, I hope that they can continue and actually build upon this and give us some more awesome matches.
Yep.
What you got, Wade?
Yeah, I think their move set is kind of catered more towards being baby faces in general because they're pretty exciting and they're pretty petite too. So like essentially everything about them is more catered towards baby faces. I think they look really cool as heels though, style wise, and uh Io when she's playing heel, I think when she's just being extra dirty is pretty cool. But
Mm-hmm.
there's no story for them turning babyface. They just kind of told them to go like kick ass and be as cool as possible, and everyone got into the match. So, and that's saying something because generally I would say WWE fans and wrestling fans in general, if you're putting a women's tag team match with no real build and just telling them to go out and wrestle, it is
Bathroom break.
very
Yeah.
quiet in the
Yeah.
crowd. So I was impressed with it, but that's just how good Kyrie Sane and EO are. And I think I've liked Kyrie a lot, like particularly like the past 3 months. I think she's
Mm-hmm.
turned it up a lot, but this is made even more for her. I thought she was really good in that match, but Io's just amazing. She's top 3 person on the roster in my opinion. She's so good. So I'm just glad that she, because you have all the Rhea and Liv stuff going on, at least Io is involved in something because that's a complete waste of her skills if she's not involved. Because you have Rhea and Liv going on in the side, and let's be real, we all want to see. I think all of us want to see Rhea versus Kairi Sane.
That'd be sick.
That would be a sick match.
Great. Remember when EO said damage control needs a change?
Mm-hmm.
Have we seen that yet or no? Has that come
Yeah,
to
they're baby
fruition?
faces now.
Is that what it is? The turn? That's
It was
what
terrible
my guess
writing.
was.
We
That
need a
was my guess.
change. She's
Let's be
breaking
good.
stuff, and then now we're good, guys. I think that is about the amount of effort they put into the women's division writing. So
Right.
Yeah, was just horrible. Luckily, like I said, they got the talent to kind of outshine the lack of story with that, but you still need story for them, because my skills and promos, they really can't cut them, and they don't allow them to do them like how I like them to do. I rather them to do them in Japanese and do the subtitles, and they stick with that, and that's cool to me. But yeah, they do need an actual story. Like you say, it's time for Damage Show to have a change, and then nothing really happened out of that. They went to Tokyo and
Japan,
they came
yeah.
back and they said they started going crazy. So yeah.
Yeah, that's it for mine. Like I love the damage control material so far. And it is a bummer that Dakota is injured again because I was rooting for her for a good push for her too.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe when she get back, she can get that push that she definitely deserves. I think that's kind of been the Achilles heel to, it's just that injuries, with her. Like she comes for a minute and she gets in that hot storyline or whatever the case may be, and then she get hurt, and then like she's sidelined or whatever, and then you got to build that back up again. But how do you guys feel about Damage Control? Did you guys love that triple threat match? Do you want more of that? Let us know. Comment below on that. Wait, if you cool with that, I want to go with my review.
Go for it.
Cool. I want to talk about the New Day. This New Day storyline. In the beginning, I was kind of against it and on the fence, and then it started to win me over. And even with like, so now it's I feel like it's less about New Day and the Final Testament, and it's more about just the New Day in general. And I feel like that's cool again. Do I want them to split? No. but I can understand a possible split with it. The quote unquote addition of Odyssey Jones out there just being so jovial and just over the top with the energy, and Xavier Woods is like, yo man, like what's going on right now, you know? And so that dynamic between Xavier Woods and Kofi out there could possibly lead to a match, could possibly not lead anything, could lead to Big E coming back. Maybe, hopefully, you know, I don't know. I would like that to happen. But how do you guys feeling about this New Day storyline? I feel like it's kind of been a long time where New Day hasn't had anything significant in creative and writing. So right now I feel like they have something they build on that. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I think you need to thank Karrion Kross for bringing in a good story for the New Day. Without him,
100.
we wouldn't be having this.
Yep.
He's probably the most important person on the Raw roster right now. So I just can't wait for when we're at Mania next year, all wearing Final Testament shirts. So I
Oh,
I want them to split. What?
we need Final Testament shirts, and then Marlon, you have to have a roll of newspaper and gloves on.
One glove.
That's one glove. That's what I need.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
It's so funny because if you paid attention, you know how Karrion Kross essentially loses every feud that he's in, but then everything that he predicts will happen ends up happening.
Yeah.
So I do think that the New Day are gonna break up, and then he'll just take credit for it again, with him losing another feud and then him predicting what happened, because he if you remember, the last two people he feuded with was Shinsuke and AJ Styles. And after each of them feuded with him, they turned into bad guys like how he said they would. So
Yeah.
I think that the New Day breakup is going to happen for sure. And I'm cool with it. They've been a team for a really long time. And I
10
feel
years.
like the story of them together is kind of done. What more are they gonna win tag titles again, maybe? I don't that's not very exciting. It's not a very exciting story. How many times have they won it? 10 times?
I think 10 or 11 total.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if they win 11 or 12 times, does that change anyone's opinion of New Day?
Or their
Still,
legacy.
or the late changes nothing. And even if
Yeah.
they split, it's not going to change their legacy unless there's some weird, nerd that brags about how they're one of the only tag teams that never split up. And that's
Mhm.
a really useless, in my opinion, a useless thing to be proud of. They've been together for a long time. I'd like to see them separate, especially Big E's not going to be involved. Maybe they'll
Yeah.
use Big E to bring him back together or something. But they're writing this story really well. It's nuanced in the way that you understand where Kofi is coming from, but you also
Mhm.
understand why Xavier Woods would be annoyed. And if he turns on Kofi, I kind of get it at the same time,
Yeah.
which is what a heel should be. They shouldn't just be all of a sudden evil or whatever. They need to actually be kind of justified in what they're doing,
Yeah.
for the crowd to really get involved, in my opinion. So like Jimmy Uso, I mean, they were heels, but him turning on Jay, first of all, it didn't make sense. That whole story was not like them splitting up and everything. I don't think was particularly told well, and everything about him screwing over his brother because he didn't want him to turn into Rome. Just it was super
Yeah.
So many
convoluted.
plot holes. A lot of plot holes in
And
there.
it did not. It
Mhm.
just didn't make sense really,
Yeah.
and we just accepted it because I
Bloodline
don't know
stuff.
why. Yeah, bloodline stuff,
Because they're cool.
but that was a terribly told story. And I think with this it's a very captivating story, and I'm actually really into it. And I've not been into the New Day in years.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
How you feel about it, Marlon?
Yeah, it's there was a digital exclusive. I don't know if you guys saw it where Karrion and Cross and Scarlett were talking about, she was like, okay, we're done with them. Leave them alone. And then kind of like what you were alluding to, Wade, is let it fester and it's going to play out because he already planted like the seeds in Xavier Woods' mind. So they're eventually going to break up. So it'll still be his doing. And that would be awesome if he did take credit for it. So I like the story. I like incorporating Odyssey Jones into an established team and allowing him to get some shine. And I feel that when the split happens, that Xavier Woods is going to be good as a singles competitor. And I feel like it'll show off his wrestling skills and his deviance. So it'll be weird though, because I'm a big fan of Up, Up, Down, Down. And they're always doing stuff together. Like Kofi is all, if no guests are coming in, it's like Kofi and Xavier playing Tekken for hours on end. So
just have Karrion Cross come in.
Yeah. And apparently Tekken is like the game, the backstage game. Like that's like everybody's jam. Everybody gets into it. So I feel that it might affect that, which I hope it doesn't. I mean, would Xavier even continue to do Up, Up, Down, Down if he turns heel?
I think that's what he makes the most money from, to be honest. So I think he'll continue it, but he probably wouldn't necessarily have Kofi involved as much.
So
you
much,
could just play Hogwarts Legacy with Karrion Cross and Scarlett, and then you're good to go. So Scarlett will pump those numbers up, that's for sure. So I think I like Xavier Woods' wrestling right now better than Kofi too.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
I think he's continued to grow, and Kofi's gone through a lot of like really tough matches that have probably been tough on his body, and I think, I just think Xavier's better now.
Yeah. Even before we leave this topic, I like that. I know they got the Ninja Turtle collaboration going on with the New Day and whatnot.
So cool.
But also, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the movement back in the day. Weren't the two other mutants named Token, Razor and Akon? No, it was Token. It was like it started with a T.
It's Toka and Razor. Yeah.
All right. It wasn't Akon. I thought it was Akon. I'm like, man, did they do this too and put it together? Like,
long-term storytelling from 1992.
Razor was actually named after the character from Ninja Turtles, though.
Oh, see, we still got stuff going on.
No, I'm kidding. I just made that up.
Oh, man.
I knew it. I knew it. Oh my god!
I'm so happy. I'm so happy right there.
That would be a stupid fact I would know from wrestling trivia. Who else is looking up Authors of Pain, reading up about their history, other than me?
Oh man. Well, how are you guys feeling about the New Day? Is they're gonna split? Will Xavier Woods become heel? Will Kofi Kingston turn heel? Is that a possibility? Would they be a major switch up on them?
Ooh.
Let us know what you guys think about that possibility as well. Wait, what you got, man?
I got the most important person on Monday Night Raw, Bronson Reed.
You're gonna say Carlito.
No, I mean, I like Carlito, and I almost picked Judgment Day again, but I've picked them the last 8 weeks, so I figured I'd give it a little break.
For good reason.
Even though I did throw up in my mouth when Dom and Liv were doing the Eskimo kisses in the back. That was a lot to look at. That was disgusting. But I'm really into Bronson Reed. I think he needs a belt. I don't even care about Braun Breaker. Just take it off of him, put it on Bronson Reed at this point. Like, Braun Breaker's cool, but Bronson. It's so funny because Braun Breaker's a million times more dynamic and it looks so cool, but just seeing Bronson Reed do his stuff when he just straight up punched or hit the chair out of Miz's hand when Miz is trying to use it as a weapon. I popped so hard for that. And this is how well it's working for Bronson Reed. This is the best Miz has ever worked as a heel or as a babyface in his life. I felt bad for Miz and was kind of cheering for him as a babyface. And he's been technically a babyface for 6 months now, but it was babyface because he was with R-Truth and everyone's cheering for R-Truth. You could have put Dominic Mysterio and they'd still probably cheer for R-Truth in a tag team with Dominic Mysterio. So I think I'm just really impressed with what they're doing. I think he's gonna crush Braun Strowman next week. He kind of has to. If he mops up Braun Strowman, and let's be real, Braun Strowman's already won a belt. He doesn't need anything else. Like he was Money in the Bank before, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe. I want to say Monster in the Bank. I think he was. Yeah, I think that was the term they coined it. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's won Money in the Bank. He's won the world title before, I believe. I don't know. He's cool. I just don't. He just looks scary. I'm not into his character at all right now. I think him running around the ring is actually kind of stupid. But it's only funny if you're doing it with JD McDonough because he's funny to laugh at. But I'm just really into Bronson Reed. I'm cool with him being Intercontinental Champion. I'm kind of intrigued to see what they do with him because he's gotten built up so much. And now, what are you going to have him beat Braun Breaker? Or is that going to be the first big test that Braun Breaker really has?
So
I don't know.
Would they be turning? Will he be a situational babyface at that point, or what?
Braun Breaker would be the babyface.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't have Bronson Reed be the babyface.
Well, because Braun Breaker right now is he the heel right now or what?
It's hard because the crowd is so behind him.
Yeah.
They're barking in the stadium now, so it's kind of hard to tell for me.
You could turn on him being a heel at any moment, and his moves, he's never gonna be. You could have him be a pure baby face, but it doesn't. His moves work kind of either way, because the spear, it's sometimes a heel move, sometimes baby face move. But that Frankensteiner, I would say, is a baby face move, in my opinion, for sure. Because it's a lucha move. I would say that's baby face. And those are his two moves, really. The gorilla press is kind of heel, but
jump off the apron onto the announce table. That's another one
too. And possibly the spear outside. I would may say that's a heel kind of move. Yeah, outside. Yeah.
But he could be either way. I think he's doing a good job managing kind of back and forth because they've shown some interview like after he won the belt, and they were interviewing him after when they had that 3-hour press conference thing after. They were just going back and forth. I thought he did a really good job acting like a babyface, even though he just fatality'd Sami Zayn, and being. I thought he was very likable in that interview. So I've seen you could flip it on and off. Yeah.
But no, like speaking of Bronson Reed, man, like I feel and it's crazy how quickly things can change for someone, right? We would have said a month ago it's time for Bronson Reed to hang it up, a month or so ago. And now
I think we were saying that.
Yeah. And now look at it right now in the span of like what 2 3 weeks. Look at him. Look what he's doing out here, and that's amazing. And that's great for him. Like he has something that works for him and they're using him properly and he's destroying people, and he got this match against Braun Strowman and he should flatten Braun Strowman. It might be like his biggest test right now because it's Braun Strowman, he's the big dude. or whatever. But I'm looking for give me 10 tsunamis. I want to see 10 tsunamis next week against Braun Strowman. And then, but now it's like, well, what is the ceiling for Bronson Reed? You got Braun Breaker right there. I can't imagine him beating Braun Breaker because Braun Breaker's got the title and he's had his fist reach too. And then you look at he's not going up against Gunther, that wouldn't make sense
No.
right now. And so it's just like
That'd be a good
what do you do?
match, but
Or
I think he goes against. You should put him against Cody
do
because
those
you know how
though.
they've been do. It doesn't matter because they already done the. You know how they're talking about the trades back and forth.
Yeah.
And they just had, hey, like, yeah, we're doing. They're all talking about deals. Yep, we got it. Like, this is good for the company. And I think he said like we're getting something back or vice versa. I think that's Bronson Reed going against Cody. I wouldn't be shocked if they're not building towards that as uh, probably I would say
Bad blood.
no. I think that's Randy, but I mean maybe you could do Bad Blood. I would be cool with that. I was thinking more. Yeah, that would probably be better. You could really build up the Randy story well. I was gonna say the Royal Rumble, but because the Royal Rumble is kind of just, hey, you're gonna have a match, and generally no one loses their belt there. I think that's a good one. But if you want to use Randy for that, I mean I'd be cool with that. Either way, I think you need to do Randy for one and Bronson Reed for the other.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I like that. Yeah, I like them switching over to SmackDown. What do you think, Marlon?
I think Bronson Reed needs to continue to smash everybody's favorite babyface and all the people that everybody likes because they sent Seth out like that. People love the Awesome Truth. He destroyed those guys. So if you want to get this guy up to the top at a gradual but accelerated pace, I think you just keep throwing all the favorite baby faces in his path and have him squash him. And if it ends up being Cody by Elimination Chamber or Royal Rumble, I think that would be a good trajectory.
Dang. Yeah, hey guys, I think we need to get something. Big Bronson Reed shirts, $9 on WWE
What?
right now.
Let's
Yeah.
do it. Order me one right now.
All right.
I'm a size large. $9? Let's get on the train right now.
All right. After this, I buy one for sure. I buy that, Jacob Fatu, and I might buy a Braun Breaker shirt.
Oh, that Braun Breaker dog shirt. I want that so bad.
Yeah. What about a American Made shirt?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say freaking a Cody Rhodes American whatever shirt.
I haven't seen the American
I'd
Made shirt.
still look like I'm storming the Capitol, probably in that.
But they look to me. I think they look better than the Cody Rhodes shirts.
I haven't seen them. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, you got check it out. Check it out.
Because I'm ordering at this moment too the Tiffany Stratton Money in the Bank briefcase.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I'm getting that thing. I'm gonna be rocking that at Mania, dude, and Rumble. I'll be looking fresh in Indianapolis with that briefcase.
All bedazzled out.
Yeah, I might as well dress up as one of the Pretty Deadly people too while I'm wearing it.
You do some research. What did the dude tell you?
I did do research on it. Yeah. You know how cold it would be in Indianapolis wearing those shirts?
Oh man. But man, if you guys are feeling Bronson Reed, big Bronson Reed out here, some people, let us know what you guys think. We're gonna get into our 3 count. Who wants to kick it off?
I'll kick off 3 count. Get it off my chest. It was we've talked about it offline with you guys. The current run of Cody Rhodes since he won at WrestleMania. I don't know. I feel like Cody's doing a great job as a persona for the WWE. I feel like he's representing very well the WWE. I don't know if he's carrying the company though the way an undisputed or universal champion should or has in the past. Because to me, his matches to defend the title or his booking to defend the title to me have just been falling lackluster. I did enjoy the AJ Styles two-parter, right? It was a regular
Yep.
match and then an I Quit match. But since Logan and
Oh, I forgot that match.
yeah, exactly.
I totally forgot he had.
I forgot that match. But it's just been whatever. It's fallen flat. I feel that even the solo rivalry was premature.
Yeah.
And it could have used more build because I didn't know why Solo was going after Cody. And if it was revenge from WrestleMania and prior, I feel like it was too soon. Like when Solo said, "Wise man, Cody, we already have Cody in our hands, and he doesn't even know yet." I didn't feel that. I didn't feel that they were doing underhanded tactics to make Cody feel vulnerable. So, and then that was his last title defense. And then when he announced KO as his next champion, I was like, as his next competitor, I was like, sure, it's going to be a good match. But storyline wise, like I have little to no interest until I actually watch the match. So what do you think about Cody's current run as champion? What do you think it needs? And yeah, those questions?
Can I go real quick?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So when you were talking about getting off your chest, I thought Nia Jackson said an annihilator to you, first of all. But the
two annihilators.
So Cody's been champ for 4 months.
137 something days, yeah.
Okay, so like 5 months, basically. So yeah, 4 or 5 months. So none of this is on Cody. He's made the most out of what he's been given literally a turd sandwich.
Yeah.
There's the AJ thing I thought was actually pretty good.
Me too.
Yeah. And I thought AJ was done. I had no expectations for AJ Styles. He had not had a match in like 2 years that I cared for in any type of way. I totally forgot about the Logan Paul thing because that was so stupid for him to even go against him. And the Solo thing, I feel like they told the story well. It logically makes sense. The belt was taken away from the bloodline, so Solo wants to get it back. He doesn't even know we have him even surrounded. Okay. And then Jacob Fatu comes out and makes everything kind of crazy. I feel like all of that was told in a fine way. You just have Solo as the focal point in this whole thing, which isn't this isn't you mean on the waterfront. Yeah, it's not
watching paint dry.
I wouldn't go like that, but he's not like Audrey Hepburn out there dancing or acting. So yeah, I just he's fine. It's just if this is a storyline with LA Knight or something, I think Solo would be totally fine. Maybe not because LA Knight's kind of a jerk and promos with each other. He may eat them alive, but I don't know. I'd like to see that. I think that's a fine. Cool. That would be a cool thing. But all of this was built for Roman, and that's part of the other thing too. You have all the Roman stuff looming over on this brand. And half of this stuff with Cody has been made for Roman to come back as a babyface too. And then it just makes it all of this is just the booking. I think Cody's doing well, but he should be on like Raw or something. So or NXT, I don't know. Something, but I just think it's the booking and there's not good heels. You could have Austin. I would have rather had Austin Theory go against him than Logan Paul. People hate on Austin Theory. Logan Paul does cool stuff. Austin Theory is better in ring than Logan Paul. Yeah, I think. Yeah. A lot of people don't think that because they watch something crazy that Logan Paul does, but Austin Theory I think is better, and it's not all revolving around brass knuckles in every single match. So
Yeah.
Austin Theory or Grayson Waller, I think would have been better options, in my opinion. I agree with you on the KO thing. That's just bad booking. But
Yeah.
I think this is setting up for when Randy turns on him, it's going to be a bigger deal because Randy and KO were tight and Cody, and it's going to be a whole thing.
What about you, Pierre?
For me, it's a snooze fest, man. Like to me, like, yeah, I didn't mind with AJ Styles and the little rivalry, but I like told you, I think we talked about it before. I wish it would have went more into the Bully Club stuff. You know, like they have
That's true.
the connection. They could have built so much on that, you know, and they didn't do that properly. Um, and I think with a lot of the champions coming out of Mania and everyone who completed their story didn't have anything else afterwards. So Bailey gets to WrestleMania, she wins, and then like
Yeah,
it's kind of like what, you know? Same thing with Cody Rhodes. It's like now what, you know? Even with I won't go that far to say with Gunther at SummerSlam, but who knows? Because it's still out for Gunther. But I think he might have a better shot than everyone else is having because I don't think Gunther really needs a story, you know, because he's Gunther, you know.
He's a heel though too, so it's different.
Yeah. But like I say, with Cody Rhodes, we know Roman even said it before, like this is just a chapter in the big book of what's going on. And so Cody Rhodes is a chapter in this book of the bloodline, you know. Um, I do wish they would have waited a little bit more before you had Solo come after Cody. I would have liked them to do more reckless stuff and be more chaotic on SmackDown. I don't think we got a chance to really see that. It's just I felt like it was kind of like a jump to Cody, but it made sense because, like I say, what happened in WrestleMania. But I would have waited for maybe a few more months down the line before they did that. But yeah, man, I don't want to see Cody Rhodes versus KO. I'm sure it's gonna be a good match, maybe even a great match. But the story wise is not there for me. I want Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. That's the story that I feel like is needed for Cody Rhodes at this time. Whether Orton's heel or Cody's heel, more than likely it's probably gonna be Orton.
Yeah.
But that's what's needed. We need Cody versus Orton. They kind of saves Cody's championship run right now to me. His
Yeah.
title reign.
And to reiterate, I feel that Cody as a superstar is phenomenal. He's awesome. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing with that belt. Even all of his like behind the scenes stuff and his sideshow of what do you want to talk about while drinking whiskey, all or vodka, all good stuff. I like he's a great persona. I'm drawn to the stuff on the screen, but like you said, Wade, it's the booking. Um, I was thinking I was fantasy booking in my head. I hope Finn Balor and he crossroads for the championship. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Unintended.
Haha, yes, totally. But that's it. I mean, I feel that the booking could be better. I don't know what it would take, but it's just been whatevs to me.
It's
Yeah, I
hard to
think like
book a babyface champion too,
Mm-hmm.
in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like heel is just so much easier, I think,
Mm-hmm.
because you could have them be cowards and try to run away from people or just being mean and you want the guy to lose, but unless you have when you're the champion, it's hard to develop a force that is coming after you. You already defeated it. So it's kind
Mm-hmm.
of
yeah. But remember that's what it is too. He doesn't
yeah.
have some force come after him. You know,
That's what I
like
was thinking too. Yeah.
yeah, he completed everything. He it's the end of the game, and now you just cycle him back to do side missions, a side quest or whatever, or get the loot that you didn't get before. And it's like, all right, well now what? You know, like
New game plus.
yeah, you know, harder level. But who's that harder opponent for him? You know, I think to me, like he's always going to be Scott Summers. He's always going to be, you know, this guy to me.
Leonardo.
Yeah. Oh dang, that thing is clean. You'll have to tell us
Yeah, he's
offline
always
how
going to be
much
Captain
that was.
America.
That thing's pretty cool.
Is that real vibranium?
I wish, but yeah. So man, how you guys feeling about Cody Rhodes title run? Is he boring? Is he WWE's NyQuil? Let us know. Um, I'm cool going with my 3 count because it's actually kind of a question for the both of you guys. Um, it's amazing that we have two companies out there with WWE and AEW, and they can compete, and I feel like they can elevate each other. We've seen stars come from wrestlers go from WWE over to AEW, and we've seen that vice versa. My question for you guys is what are a few of the wrestlers that have switched brands and it seems to have benefited them, and but also what are some that seem to have hurt them by switching brands? Sorry, switching companies.
Ooh.
So
One.
real quick, I think like Moxie going over to AEW, I feel like it's helped him, and Pac because as Neville, he did some
Oh
stuff, but
yeah.
it really didn't.
He's sick as Neville, but yeah, they
Yeah,
didn't use him enough.
so something like that. So
Even Edge, I thought
Yeah, I was
was
gonna say
before he
Adam
hurt
Copeland.
himself. I
mhm,
thought he was doing. I actually liked him a lot in AEW. I thought he was doing a really good job. Uh, Punk initially when he was in AEW, I thought that went really well until he was fighting people backstage. I can't think of. I mean, there's a bunch of people that are. I mean, Jericho even. Jericho
mhm,
was now he's just old now, and
yeah,
it is what it is. But his initial run was awesome. Uh, I, most of the time it's gone pretty well. And I'm someone may say in the comments that I'm forgetting someone or there's other people, even Claudio,
Yep.
mhm,
Cesaro. It's gone. Some people would want better, but compared to what his runs were like in WWE, I think it's been better for him, and I think he's happier. Brian
mhm,
Danielson
Brian Danielson. Yep.
has been it's been a renaissance of his career.
Page.
yeah,
Swerve is from
Swerve.
NXT.
Oh my gosh, that's
Uh,
mhm,
huge.
but yeah, Ethan Page, I think it's going well for him in NXT.
Yep.
mhm.
I Cody, like
Hmm.
I think for the most part, the
It
people
worked for the
who've
guys that switched.
yeah, the only one that it seems like Punk switched back and I something's off with it in my opinion.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's just him as a babyface really annoys me.
I think it's that. I think that's what it is because I think I'm not used to Punk being so grateful and so humble. I like my Punk arrogant. I like my Punk brash. And I don't think we haven't gotten that yet. Well, we haven't gotten that. It's all like, yo, I appreciate the love and my friends are fighting cancer, which is cool. But at the same time, it's like that's not the Punk that I want. Like I want the pipe bomb. Punk.
His stuff with Seth when he's been interacting with Seth has been really good because he's shown
Yeah.
that kind of prick side. And the early stuff with Drew I thought was good, but now I
Mm-hmm.
don't. I'm just flabbergasted with how much they're focusing on the bracelet still. No
Mm-hmm.
one cares about this bracelet. So, yeah, it's just kind of weird. I think he's over doing the babyface thing right now. But I think in general, there's gonna about to be a bunch more switches because Bobby Lashley, I think, is going over to AEW. I
MVP.
think Ricochet, I think Shane McMahon is about to go to
I
AEW.
heard that. Yeah.
Ricky
Hardline.
Uh,
Starks. Ricky
Ricky
Starks.
Starks is going to WWE. The
Hmm.
Lucha Bros are about to go to WWE and make some crazy money on merch with their masks. So I think it's good because I think generally the people who a lot of times flip flop,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I think they a lot of times know, okay, something's not working for me over here. Let me go over there, and
Yeah.
there has to be ones that I'm forgetting, but the ones that I'm remembering, it's gone pretty good.
What about because I've seen it pop up and I only get to watch enough, but Malachi Black.
I think that's him. That's the issue. It's
Okay.
not say he again. I'm not completely in the know, but there's a lot of rumors, and it's the same thing with him and Rusev. Uh, that apparently they're very particular on if they're willing to lose matches at all. Moxley's kind of the same way, I've heard, but Moxley's so undeniable, or was for so long, that you can kind of put up with that. But Malachi Black didn't have a singles match for almost a year, I think.
Mhm.
And I think it was because he wouldn't lose to anyone. And that's an issue. He looks awesome in his matches. He's had a lot of really cool matches, but there was a period he wasn't wrestling, and he wasn't. Some of the time he was hurt, but a lot of the time he was wrestling tag matches, so I knew he was not hurt. So yeah, FTR is from WWE too.
Yeah.
And it's gone well for them. So yeah, I would say those two I think are difficult in the locker room to deal with, it seems like. Again, I don't know for sure, but that's the vibe, and I've seen it a lot of times, so I don't think either of those. I know you only brought up one of them, but then that made me think of Rusev too,
Yeah.
because it's the same thing. It's more on those guys, I think, than the actual, oh, they're not allowed to be successful here. They for sure would have given Malachi back one of the 15,000 belts that they have in AEW at some point.
Here's a big one. Tony Storm.
Oh yes, she won
Yeah.
for sure.
Like, WWE was squandering her like crazy.
Yes.
They didn't know what to do with her.
Yeah, they
And
fumbled
Is
that for sure.
the verdict still out on Mercedes Moné? Are we gonna wait and see?
I think it's going
Or-
well.
I do
well,
too.
better.
As much
Once
as
she
as
turned-
much
what-
hate as she gets, I think she's doing better than what the hate is online.
She got she was getting the hate from people who were when she was in WWE too, because a lot of
Okay.
people hate her because she hurt Saraya just by
Mhm.
kicking. Like, it was I don't know if you ever watched the injury, but I've seen people do that a million times, and I can't believe she actually broke her back that way. So,
Mm.
yeah, Saraya's one that hasn't done as well as you think, but I just don't think
Injury, right?
she's. Yeah, and I think she was injured for so long, and then women's wrestling has progressed so far in that time period that she hasn't been able to catch up. So
Okay.
yeah, but Mercedes, I think she's been good. A lot of people hate on her, but I think it's been going better for her here than the last bit that she had in WWE.
All right.
So
Last one, Jay Cargill. Better over at WWE or AEW?
it's kind of the same. She wrestled more in AEW, but they were mostly squashes.
Okay.
So they had the same. People will complain either way. I think it's, again, I think she just needs to get better at wrestling either place. So, and I'm not like trying to hate on her.
Yeah.
I've not seen a good long match from her ever. So until I see that, I can't really blame the company for you not reaching your heights, because both of them
Okay.
are presented her in a way that is like a rock star. So
Yeah.
I think it's about the same, but I think it was good for her to go to WWE, but we'll see if she's able to get to this wrestling level that she needs to be to have the success.
Cool. Cool. What you got for 3 count?
I just wanted to talk about the All In. That's this weekend. I'm super pumped for it. There's a lot of good matches. There's one that I'm not excited for, which is Jericho versus Hook for the 30th time. And I'm curious if Hook is still going to be wearing eye protection because he got blinded by a fireball a few weeks back. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I did see that.
But other than that, there's like a few matches that I'm not incredibly pumped for, but the big ones, you got Bryan Danielson versus Swerve. I do not know who's going to win that match.
The
Because
retirement match, right?
it's retirement, or like if Bryan Danielson loses, he retires. So that makes that, but he's kind of on the edge of retiring too. So I could see him actually, and he's going against the guy from Washington. So he kind of has a little bit of a bias towards Washington people. So I could see him give that final match to someone that he respects, especially from his home state, like Swerve or Darby would be the two people that I could see him kind of lose to retire. You have the Tony Storm Mariah May match that is box office for sure. I think Mariah May's winning that. You have the Mercedes
MJF,
Moné versus
DMD.
DMD. That's a big time match. And then MJF versus Osprey for the American belt that I'm so disappointed they're not actually selling. If they would have sold
Oh,
that, I've looked everywhere. I might have to make it myself, but then that's some real redneck stuff. If I'm making the American title, that thing is so ridiculous. I need that belt so bad. But yeah, that match is gonna be great. I honestly don't know who's gonna win that. A lot of people think Will Ospreay because it's in London and MJF's been a real dick for basically a month with the American title and just going to other countries, beating people. So I'm just really excited for it. The tag matches I don't really care about, to be honest, any of them on the card.
I was gonna say, which
Uh,
match do you not care about? You said one that you're not excited for, but is it all the tag matches?
I'm more excited for the latter one with the trios with Christian
Mm-hmm.
Cage, and because that one's gonna be psychotic because it's a ladder match and Christian's in it. I don't. Did
House
you
of
guys
Black.
see? So Christian was a referee, and he was obviously wearing a
I saw.
turtleneck. Yeah. So he's telling everyone he did call it right down the middle. There was no bias at all, but it's double down and he's counting to 10, and someone starts to get up and he just spears him and then finishes counting to 10. So there was so he's said, oh, both are just disqualified, so there's no person for us to go against. And generally I hate when they do stuff like that because the heels shouldn't, if you beat up the people, generally you're gonna have to go against both of them and they're punished. But
Mhm.
just the way with the count out thing and both were gonna actually be eliminated and then he just can't help himself and spears the guy, I loved it. So yeah, that match will be good. The regular tag match that's a trios, or that's a
Triple
triple
threat.
threat with FTR,
Young
Young
Bucks.
Bucks, and the Acclaimed. I'm not. I don't care. I like
Is
all
that
the
your bathroom
teams.
break?
Well, probably the Jericho one is my bathroom break. So that 100% is my bathroom break. I was hoping they were gonna do Jeff Jarrett versus Hangman Adam Page or something, but it looks like that's not going to be on the card. So, but yeah, I'm excited for all those matches. They've done a really good job building up the matches this year compared to last year. I felt that last year they just had a bunch of random multi-man matches to try to get as many people on the card as possible. And this time it seems the main four matches, they've had a really good build for all of them, and it's big time. So what do you guys think? If anything that you've seen with what's getting set up for All In?
I'll go to it. Be quick. I know I like that Tony Storm versus Mariah May match. I know that's been building for a minute, and just seeing a little bit of that unfold has been dope. The thing about MJF versus Ospreay, I can't imagine MJF losing because like he needs the American title. he can still do so much with that even more. So I like to see him, win, continue on with that, and just be completely ridiculous with it. Go to Tokyo, go all over
I know.
the globe with it. I think that's what's needed. So I think he has to win with that. How you feel, Marlon?
I'm excited for the Brian Danielson match with Swerve. I did listen to that interview that you sent Wade with Brian Danielson, and I also listened to the MJF Wrestle Talk interview too. That was so good. So those are the two matches I'm really looking forward to. But also the trios match, just because I've seen those guys wrestle at Ring of Honor, like Bang Bang,
Oh
and
yeah.
so like that one intrigues me too. It's really cool just to see them, knowing you saw them in person, so we kind of have a bit more bias, for them on TV. So yeah, it looks good. It's $50 to buy. Is that how you're getting? Are you getting it through? What do you have? Are you doing it through YouTube?
No, I usually do it through Bleacher Report, or
Okay.
I think that's the one I get it on.
Can you play it after it's done?
Yeah.
You can? Do
Yeah.
you kind of own it, or is it
Yeah,
until they take it
for
down?
for 90 days, I think, and then
Okay.
Okay.
uh
I might get
so
it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to be at your house at 10 a.m. Pacific time,
yeah, that's kind of
but
ridiculous. I
so
didn't realize it was that. I was supposed to go to like a music event the night before that goes till like 4 a.m. And I'm a bit unsure if I'm gonna wake up in time for that for the
yeah.
10 a.m. thing.
So I might buy it and watch it later in the day, you know. So
Yeah.
it looks like a good deal, Pierre, if you want to consider it's doable for sure.
I could like also
Yeah.
give you guys my password and then you guys could watch it. But
We don't do that on here, Beach Report.
listen, if they find that out, if they somehow find it out from our podcast, it means we made it.
Hell yeah.
If Bleacher Reports finding this out.
Come at me, BR Wrestling. Come at me.
Cool. Well, who's watching All In this weekend? Let us know. What are you guys' predictions? Comment below on that. I'm gonna get into my tenfold theory for the week. I feel like I haven't done one in a minute. We haven't seen this, but I got it back.
Ooh-wee.
Sign
Look
That
it
at
looks
over
that.
here.
clean.
So, for my tenfold theory is I have Randy Orton walking into WrestleMania as champion, as a world champion. I don't know which belt it is, but I have him going into WrestleMania as world champion versus John Cena. Uh, so John Cena can break that record to get that 17 title run. I don't know how it's happening. I don't know if he wins it at Rumble and we get that. That's how Orton goes into Mania. But that's how I feel is Orton into Mania as champion versus John Cena is one of the matches in this Field World John Cena's tour.
Damn.
I'm keeping it simple. I'm keeping it short. I'm keeping it simple.
Damn.
I don't know if it's that simple. A lot of things have to go on for that to happen.
Damn.
I just think that's a waste of a belt.
I
Other
mean,
than the
I feel
US
like
title.
besides Gunther right now, I feel will add prestige to the World Heavyweight Championship. I feel like the Undisputed Championship ain't nothing right now.
Yeah, but you also have
I
Roman
feel like
coming back.
I think he might be tied with The Rock at Mania if we get that. I think the Bloodline story ends at Mania.
You don't think it's
Completely.
Cody versus The Rock at Mania?
No. I think we might get Cody as because I remember The Rock said like you're my champion or you work for me or something like that, and they had some type of exchange at the WrestleMania or whatever.
Raw
So I
Mania.
think we get something to where like Cody working for The Rock or something like that, some aspect, and that's where we might still get that Cody turn too as well. But I see Roman versus Rock at Mania. If Rock can still go, but I feel like we have to have Orton versus Cena at Mania doing this Farewell World Tour. So
Man, I want The Rock to beat Cody at Mania for the belt. That's what I want. And then Rock's double champ with the Rock belt and the it's such like a heel move, double champ. Like when Roman had all three belts and they unified the two. Remember when he was walking around
Yeah.
with three of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, hmm. I mean, I get what you're saying. I kind of want Roman versus Jacob Fatu at Mania.
mm,
I definitely don't want Roman versus Solo. But
no,
Hell no.
I don't think
if we
I
don't
don't
get
even
that
think
bad
Solo
blood,
wants that match.
No.
no.
That wouldn't be a draw at all.
I
If
think
we
I
got-
think it happened in Bad Blood.
You think that's happening in Bad Blood?
Solo versus Roman.
I could see that. Yeah, that. And then SummerSlam is,
Well,
Survivor Series, you mean?
or yeah, that's what I meant.
no,
Survivor Series, sorry,
it's Bloodline versus Bloodline. I think we could
with
get
Cody Rhodes.
Jacob, maybe, or we could get Jacob versus Roman at Rumble or something like that. I do know. I feel like we need that PLE match between Jacob and Roman. It shouldn't be a SmackDown.
Maybe
But then
elimination
they just,
change.
but I know
So
that goes out of the order, a pecking order, too, for the
yeah,
Bloodline.
the issue if you're not gonna unless like Roman has the belt or one of them has the belt, they basically never do non-title matches at uh the Rumble because the Rumble matches take 2 hours, so you could
Yeah,
only have two or three other
four
matches.
matches. Yeah,
Same with the Chamber. Yeah, yeah, just do it at Bad Blood, get it over with.
yeah.
So all right, I like that. That's a good tinfoil though, because I don't agree with it, and I think it's crazy.
I mean, if
That's
they
what
want
I'm
to
here
make
to do.
WrestleMania bigger than last year's, I feel like a Cena versus Orton, a Roman versus
Rock.
Rock, Cody versus who knows to just
Cody versus
elevate.
Solo 2.
Oh God.
Bloodline rules, but they just wrestle a regular match for the first 30 minutes for interference. Now we need I want Rock and Cody more than I want Rock and Roman.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it might happen, but if Rock can't wrestle anymore or he can't go like he should be able to go, I think you get Cody. It's been working for the Rock.
Well, Cody
Yeah.
put out the challenge, right? Anytime, any place. Remember, leading up to WrestleMania.
I think The Rock could do if you do a party match like how they did with Sting at the end and basically what
Yeah,
Bloodline Rules is. You could
yeah.
do
He could
whatever.
pull it off. Yeah.
There's enough
Mhm.
smoke and mirrors they could do it. I mean, dude,
Yeah.
The Undertaker wrestled at like 60 years old and had some okay matches towards the end. So I think The Rock can figure it out.
It's possible. It's possible. What do you guys got? Who is it up for the debate?
Do you have a topic?
Yeah. No, well, I think I went with someone last week, so I gave a topic. I gave a topic last week,
You
so
gave a
it's me
topic
and
last
someone.
week.
Yeah, and my topic was to DIY or Street Profits split up.
I don't have a debate topic because it was well, I was gonna say if Cody Rhodes's title reign was hot or not, but I kind of want to do something different. I'm like
Okay,
I don't know why we've addressed this before. So it's a debate, but it's also it's really your own opinion. I just want to hear
okay,
I want to hear your guys's Mount Rushmores of wrestling. Um we could keep it within WWE, like those who came from WWE or ended up
yeah,
there. Or yeah, I think that would be easiest. But I also want to respect the fact that there could be like other Mount Rushmores, like best heel Mount Rushmores, best promo Mount Rushmores, but this is like overall.
hmm
I just want to hear it. So it could be we could talk about each other's picks, but I want to hear your two's Mount Rushmores of wrestling.
okay. Mine's gonna be
All right,
probably
Pierre.
all WWE.
Sorry, go for
So,
it.
mine's probably all gonna be WWF, WWE, just because that's what I just grew up on mainly. Um, Taker's on there. Undertaker's definitely on there, just because like he's just been through someone I just watched through my whole entire time like watching wrestling since like I was like 7 or whatever. So watching the different styles of evolution and different switches of Taker throughout the years, except for American Badass, has always been dope to me.
You
So
didn't
he's
like American Badass?
no, not at all.
Biker Taker?
I like what I like, and I don't like that. T-bone roll.
Yeah,
No.
baby.
So he's on there. Shawn Michaels definitely is on there. Um, the last two people is kind of like tough for me because it's like I don't want to say I grew up watching John Cena, but it's hard for me not to put Cena in there just because of so much he did in the 20 years. So like, yeah, I wasn't a kid watching John Cena, so I don't have the whole loyalty, hustle, respect thing in me, nothing like that. But I can respect what the man did for 20 years. So if I go 20 years back, that would have put me like 17, 18, watching John Cena for the last 20 years. That's like, he's like the LeBron James for my, in wrestling for me in that aspect.
That's a
Um,
good comparison.
but also, can I eliminate like Stone Cold Steve Austin out of that because that's
Mhm.
who I grew attitude era,
Mhm.
So is that too? Watching like I never walked around saying hustle lower respect. That wasn't my thing. I wasn't putting up the threes, nothing like
Mhm.
that. But we were all walking around flicking people over, giving people the bird. Like
Yeah.
that was something,
Or saying,
and I
and
think
that's the bottom line.
yeah, Um so that's and trying to give each other the stunner, that's something that we could do. I can't actually go around giving people FUs.
FUs.
I can't squat 500 pounds, you know. So I think Stone Cold is definitely on that list for me. Um,
So that's
and then
3 or 4. What do you got?
there's three.
Okay.
So my last one would be The Rock, just because like growing up, I didn't have. Yeah, you have black wrestlers or whatever, Ron Simmons, Junkyard Dog, and those people like that. But and even like Booker T and WCW, but no one black at the time reached the levels that The Rock did in comparison to all the other counterparts. Like you had for the longest, I'm watching Bret Hart, I'm watching Razor Ramon, I'm watching Hogan, Flair, all these Stone Cold, all these different guys get to the top and be number one. And then representation matters. And then you see someone like The Rock out here and he's like head and shoulders above everyone else that's a minority, in his level, like he's in a nation of domination and a group that, yeah, I should like because they're all black or stereotypical. But I do remember seeing a white kid in the crowd throwing the fists up. I thought that was hilarious. But you get
That was
The
me.
Rock in the midst of it. Little Thomas. That's why black people meet from that. When they run the beginning of the nation of domination. But like, just watching what The Rock was able to do, being black, because I think at the time they really pushed him being black. It wasn't until I feel like getting older they really lean more into the Samoan side. So growing up, it's like, all right, man, I got someone that's black. He's a champion. He's the main eventer. He has the people's eyebrow, the people's elbow, the rock bottom, Rudy Poo, all these phrases, shirts, merchandise. Like, so that's for me, as impactful. Those are my four in Mount Rushmore.
Good. So can you list them off again real fast?
Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, The Rock.
All right.
All right. So after you talked about how inspiring The Rock was as like the first like really good black champion, or like one that was at that top level, I'm gonna start off with Hulk Hogan. I'm just kidding. I'm not putting him on my.
I was like, where's he going with this?
I mean, this one is a bit problematic too, but I'm starting with Ric Flair as my first one. He's just, I mean, it's Ric Flair. For this, so I'm just gonna say, everyone I'm picking on here at least was in WWE for a little bit. I would have put Brian or Kenny Omega in mine if it was anyone who was including people who were never in WWE. I do hope he goes to WWE at some point just to see what that looks like. But yeah, so Ric Flair was going to be on mine regardless, though. He's awesome. I think he's one of the best heels ever. He's amazing at being just a piece of crap. And his original retirement match, I think, is the best retirement match of all time. I love that match with him and Shawn Michaels. And he's one of the most important people to wrestling ever. He kind of spanned such a long time period where he was doing all the territory stuff. You watch Iron Claw, he's important in the Iron Claw movie, which is from a long time ago. WCW, all of that stuff. WWE, he's just a legend. He had to be on mine. Next, I'm gonna have another kind of old guy that lasted a really long time. Sting is on mine. When I was watching wrestling as a kid, Sting was my person. I hated The Rock. I didn't like Stone Cold, but I liked Sting. I thought he was cool, hanging up in the rafters and going to beat people up with a bat and stuff. And
so good.
Especially his finale the last 2-3 years or whatever in AEW was just an amazing cherry on top. I think he could not have ended someone that old could not end. I don't think it'll ever be replicated. I think he's in his 60s doing all those crazy matches and jumping off stuff and yeah, just legend, super important to wrestling overall. And it's just disappointing how terrible WWE did with him at the end. So yeah, Sting has to be on it. Kurt Angle, he's my favorite wrestler ever. Because of my amateur wrestling background, I've always been kind of drawn to Kurt Angle, but I feel like if you watch his matches, just his first year was wild. Of someone with such little pro wrestling experience that just comes in and totally gets the sport. He was amazing. He could play heel really well. He could do he could do it all. And he could do the funny stuff really well. He was really good at making fun of himself. Just like his promo where he's talking about stuff with like the little boys and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And he was really good at making fun of himself. And I think that's something that's missing a lot in wrestling. A lot of people either want to be, I mean, they're kind of like Taker. Like they want to be the biggest badass ever. And,
he won't spin a Rooney. He won't do the spin a Rooney. Can't get him to do it.
And I give him credit because it's with his character, but he's not. People cannot do what Kurt Angle did. And then you get his TNA stuff, Perk Angle stuff. That's absolutely insane. The stuff he was doing. And yeah, I love watching his old matches all the time. His match with Shawn Michaels is one of my favorite Mania matches ever. And yeah, his match with, was that Mania too, or is that SummerSlam where he went against Rey Mysterio? I think it was SummerSlam, but that's like, in my opinion, that's the best opening match ever. And he just has so many great matches. And my last spot, person still wrestling, maybe not after Sunday, Bryan Danielson's on my last spot. he had all of his that run with the Indies, Ring of Honor, stuff in Japan before he went to WWE that is really well regarded. And then he had his whole WWE run where one of the best baby faces ever. And in my opinion, I got the belt back there. One of the best unique heel runs ever. I don't generally people like heels. It's easier to be a heel. He chose a way to be a heel that was completely unique and innovative. And then his AEW run, he's been having probably the best matches he's had in his life. I'm putting his body on the line for it, to be honest. He's broken a bunch of bones during this, but yeah, that is those are my 4 Mountain Rushmore. A lot of them didn't have a ton of time in WWE, but yeah, I wasn't gonna put Stone Cold or anyone from your list, to be honest. But I do like all those guys, but I just these are the ones that, because there's a whole other part that's not all WWE that I feel like is important too.
Yeah. Can you list them off again one more time, Wade?
Yeah, I had Ric Flair, Sting, Kurt Angle, Bryan Danielson.
Solid list.
Very
Do I have
different
to share mine?
lists.
Yeah, very different lists for various for good reasons too.
Yeah, you could do the list and then we'll have to get out of here. But
yeah. And I won't elaborate too much on mine because of things I said, but Wade, you and I have had this conversation. I feel like my Mount Rushmore is based on wrestlers who've done things in the business, out of the business, for the business. And for me, and I'm gonna cheat on mine, sorry. So I got Hulk Hogan. I grew up on Hulkamania.
Man, that would have been awesome if you did that right after Pierre's thing.
Hulk Hogan, as controversial as he is now, knowing what we know, but it's infused in my blood already and in my upbringing. So Hulk Hogan, not that part of it.
Imagine if I said that. Imagine if I said that.
The mania part of it, all right. I got Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, just an absolute legend, and has shaped so much of the culture too. Like rappers today are making songs about him, you know. The Rock, we all know why. Stone Cold Steve Austin, we all know why. But I'm like you mentioned, Pierre, like I don't know what to do with John Cena, you know, because I didn't grow up on Cena. I kind of stopped watching wrestling during like Ruthless Aggression time, but I kept tabs knowing who he was, and I played the games too. So to me, it's like those are my 4: Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, The Rock, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. But I'm like, for me, you could interchange either any one of them with John Cena, just because of what he's done for the business.
You could just cheat and say you can't see him, so he's the 5th one on there.
Oh, there
you go. Fixed it.
Yeah, that's it. All right. So what is your Mount Rushmore? I feel like this is always an ongoing conversation, like the GOAT debate between LeBron and Jordan and Kobe, whoever else you want to put in that conversation.
Ain't no way Kobe's really sorry. I know Pia likes Kobe. Come on.
People put Kobe in that conversation.
Yeah, Laker fans put Kobe on there.
Kobe is above LeBron James.
Oh my God.
Kobe is above LeBron James.
He was never the best player on his championship team, so he's not above.
Kobe?
No.
Kobe Bryant wasn't?
Pau Gasol was more important on his team those last two, and Shaq was better.
This is a whole other episode we got to get to.
Never that.
Shaq was better.
You know, Pierre, that's spoken like a true Jordan fan.
The first 3, but the last 2 are all Kobe.
Pau was almost MVP one of those years.
I don't care what Paul Gasol. He wasn't Kobe Bryant. And then
he was more important to that team.
Yeah, those last 2 was like Kobe's like song saying I could do it without Shaq. I feel like that's what most of the media hype was about. It's like he didn't need Shaq to do it. He had a great team.
The LeBron one too with Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade ain't Shaq, dog.
Kyrie.
But he had Dwayne. He had the big 3. That was the original big 3. That was one of the original first super teams. Were the Heat.
It was Boston was the first one, but
was Shaq on that?
The Celtics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they wouldn't call them the big 3 though.
Yeah, they did.
The
No, I
Celtics,
think
they
we
call
call
them
it
the big
Heat.
three.
Yeah, they did.
No,
That's
the
where
Heat,
that
though.
term started.
The Celtics had the big
I'm going with
three.
the Heat. I'm going with. I took my time to South Beach. He teamed up with
No,
Dwayne Wade and Chris
that's
Bosh.
not the big three was started with the Boston.
Yeah,
That's
it
where
was
that
like-
term came from.
It was KG, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen.
Ray
Yeah.
Allen?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is a big three. Those guys are
That
all
was the
like
big three.
legit Hall of
No,
Famers.
yeah, I know that. I know.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you putting Kobe over LeBron is like totally a true Jordan fan right there. All right,
LeBron
so
making it to the finals with that Cavaliers team he had with like shit makes
Oh,
him
the first
above
year's
Kobe.
rookie year?
Or not his rookie year, but that first time he made it to the finals
Oh, yeah.
with that Doof Magoo squad, I think puts him above Kobe. Just that one,
Daryl
how you
Smith.
willed that team to the finals. No,
Oh,
not
yeah.
that. Well, that time too. That was wild, but yeah,
Yeah, the first time he made it, he was like super green, right? Was that versus San
Yeah.
Antonio?
I
yeah.
believe so.
Yeah, I remember
Like
that.
you look at that roster, it's
Yeah, I
it's ridiculous.
think they had Verjao on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. What is your guys's Mount Rushmore of wrestling? Period. Say all, end all. And I feel like we're gonna have more of these conversations because there's so many different categories too. So,
And
all
let us
Pierre.
know why LeBron's better than Kobe in the comments too.
Yeah.
There are gonna be 0 reasons why. He has 0 comments to that.
Yeah. He made it
All
to
right,
the playoffs
Pierre.
every year he played. I'll tell you that. Unlike
Oh,
Kobe.
man.
He doesn't have Mamba mentality though. He doesn't have Mamba mentality
That's
at
a
all.
made up thing. He has
It's a real thing.
Mamba mentality. It's a marketing. He's a made up Mamba mentality to sell merch. Mamba mentality, making up stuff to make money. I give him credit for that. That was a great marketing.
When the game is on the line, I'd rather have Kobe Bryant with the ball in his hand versus LeBron James. Who's
Look
probably
at the
gonna pass the ball to
stats.
someone.
Look at the stats of who has
Ooh.
more game-winning shots and a higher percentage. It's LeBron.
I'm going with Kobe Bryant, man. Kobe Bryant
Fake
is that
news,
dude.
dude. It's the
No,
lamestream media is telling you Kobe was the best clutch guy. He's terrible
If-
clutch.
Pierre, when you
Better
ask
than
which
LeBron
parts of the
James.
show should be clipped up, go straight to the end and put this all together, man. This is, and you can label it as sometimes we talk about basketball. I mean, this is amazing. All right, want to close this out, Pierre?
Oh. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Table Ladders and Bumps, a show about wrestling, a wrestling podcast. Sometimes we talk about how great Kobe Bryant is and better than LeBron James. I won't say he's trash, but he isn't Kobe Bryant and he isn't Jordan. Until next time, make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, comment, give us feedback. Tell us how many Kobe shoes you guys have versus LeBron trash shoes.
Oh my God.
I like LeBron shoes, but I won't wear them because he's a Laker.
Until next time, adios. Peace.
Peace.